This is an invitation for you to perform in Love as a Bad Politics ERASER, a postmaterial performance with an unlimited number of performers. It starts from the next questions. What if bad politics are nothing but a symptom of our loving ourselves too little attitude? And what if by changing this lack of love attitude, bad politics inevitably disappear? Or what if the political existence of Bashar al-Assad and Putin and Trump and Erdogan and others is due 100% to me and to my lack of love? As infantile solipsist creationism fantasy as it may sound, there is a technique of assuming complete responsibility for everything that is happening around, a technique that once emptied a madhouse for atrocious criminals. Love as a Bad Politics ERASER is the first action of fitness for dreamers, and a tribute to John Cage, Steve Reich, Yves Klein, ancient Chinese painters, Wittgenstein, and to all the minimalist artists-logicians of the world. It is a post-material performance with an unlimited number of performers, assuming lovingly 100% responsibility for what is happening in the world, and performing an inner erasure of the harmful mind patterns that allowed bad, unloving things to happen. The stage is our own mind, post-material. There is an unexpected political power. Its name is love. Love conquers all by dissolving into love everything that is not love. It dissolves bad politics, abuses, inequalities, injustice, tensions, attempts to stop freedom from expressing itself. It dissolves stupid thoughts, stupid actions, stupid cultural policies. It transgresses any asymmetric and unequal geometry of power. It may sound dreamy and naive, but it's pure fact and simple experimental sociopsychology. If you look in a person's eyes for some minutes, that person stops being perceived as a stranger, and a mutual feeling of love and sympathy arises. From that point, any enactment of power relation, like any need to submit or being submitted, completely loses momentum. Any intention to throw one's sword into the scale dissolves. Politically, a human interaction arrived at this point feels like pure democracy. And it really takes only 4-5 minutes of eye contact, sometimes even less. Therefore, love is not just the most powerful action possible, but it may also be the most powerful political action and one of the most pure democratic actions possible, yet so rarely used. Its power derives mainly from its active calm, one of the finest forms of intelligence. It is an important ingredient because if you think of human actions, only the calm ones are prone to success, while the ones performed in a strained way usually prove abortive, the results lasting little. Since the world is such a beautifully complicated, vivid structure, its problems can be treated only with active calm and intelligence. Hasty pseudo-solutions like the inept idea that immigrants or Jewish people or gypsies or all the people with glasses are responsible for the problems are nothing but a huge open gate to generalized stupidity and hate. In addition to intelligent active calm, another implicit ingredient of love is a delicate responsibility for the well-being of the loved ones, including ourselves. Delicate, yet as powerful as a woman lifting a vehicle 10 times her weight in order to rescue her child. If you want democracy to be something else than just an empty word used in false sentences, we need to see responsibility as its keystone. It is imperative to postulate our complete responsibility, essentially because taking responsibility is a sign of affirming personal power. Without taking responsibility, we can pretend neither freedom nor dignity, and any moral landmark could vanish, exactly like in Milgram's brilliant experiment on obedience. If there would have been a good synonym for déresponsabilisation, it would replace the word obedience, because in Milgram's experiment, When responsibility is in charge, obedience disappears. He said, when participants were reminded that they had responsibility for their own actions, almost none of them were prepared to obey. And Milgram's experiment in obedience and its more recently reenactment, Le Jeu de la Mort documentary, are just ways to explain how atrocities of totalitarian regimes could be enacted by common people, like the one we meet every day. Common people foolishly taking for granted the promise that someone else, an authority, can take responsibility for their own actions, even if one of those actions means killing someone. Yes, it's our responsibility. We are human beings, God damn it. Our life has value, as Charlie Chaplin percussively said. So, here I stand, near the main ingredients of my invitation to join a postmaterial performance: responsibility and love. There is a technique that states that we are 100% responsible for what is happening to us, and not only to us, but also in the world. A technique of cleaning our own harmful thinking and emotional patterns. This also proclaims that by erasing those detrimental patterns in our mind, the reality around us changes. It sounds completely crazy, but as crazy as it might sound, this method once emptied and therefore closed in 4 years a clinic for mentally ill criminals. Everything with the help of a man, Dr. Yves Klein, performing this technique by simply staying alone in his office, looking at the criminal's files, and examining himself by saying, "If these abominable crimes happened, it means that somehow, somewhere, I was wrong, and that it was that wrong disposition in me that allowed that crime to happen. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you." After the arrival of this psychologist performing this Ho'oponopono strange technique, little by little things started to change in the hospital. Prisoners got better and better, more and more tranquil and compliant. Some of them started gardening. As a consequence, they would need less heavy pharmacological drugs and got released to other institutions. After 4 years, there was no need of a highly secured place for mentally insane criminals, and the clinic had to close. If this automatic prayer of love, consciousness, and responsibility, made of 4 simple sentences, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you," was efficient with criminals that committed abominable crimes, it should be efficient, too, I suppose, with ruthless and corrupted politicians from all over the world, even if it will take more than 4 years and more than one person performing it. This 100% responsibility for all that is happening in one's life is viewed not as guilt, but as affirming personal power, therefore exactly the opposite of the usual helplessness and hopelessness of people toward politics. If it is my responsibility, that means that somehow I allowed Putin and Trump and Erdogan and Bashar al-Assad and others in my country, for instance, to happen. But that means also that I can stop allowing them to happen. That means we can commute from powerlessly watching bad politics performance to cleaning our mind of all the patterns that allowed bad politics to happen, thus erasing it. There is no better cure for stupidity and hate than intelligence and love. If you want to stop our political system raising itself on greed and thirst of power, if you want to build our society on the foundation of postmaterial values like dignity, freedom, intensified citizen input in political decisions, respect for life, and a live and let live attitude, we have to perform for love. Grotowski once said, "A performer is a man of action." He is not somebody who plays another, he is a doer. He is outside static genres. We are powerless if we just look incessantly at some other's performance. We have to act. If we, the intelligent and the loving ones, keep ourselves just as discontent political spectators without taking any action, The political performance will go on under any minimal standards of intelligence and goodwill. And if we wait to express ourselves and to enter the stage just at the end of the game, it might be too late. Extremisms and undemocratic regimes rising everywhere, including Europe and US, economic crises and heartbreaking inequalities, genocides and countless ecocides, global warming, antibiotics resistance, danger, oblige us to act now. As I said at the beginning, Love as a Bad Politics Eraser is a post-material performance with an unlimited number of performers. It is post-material not only because the post-materialism is a splendid theory and hypothetically the next paradigm of the world, but also because this is a performance that needs no building, no lights, no costumes, no props. The stage is our own mind. It's like a mind frame game. It needs only our attention focused from time to time on our inner reasons why bad things, including bad politics, happen, and to abandon, to erase those reasons using this Ho'oponopono poetry. This might happen because of something in me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. If bad politics happens, maybe it is a sign that we love ourselves too little, and that this lack of love attitude toward ourselves has to stop. This, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, may be said in an almost automatic way, like changing a broken bulb when it needs to be changed. No theater, just action. Just the action of a thought, assuming responsibility and declaring love to life itself. So, let's start the chronometer to mark the time of our travel from a bad politics world to a love politics one. Let's scrutinize ourselves, erase and empty this political madhouse. Starting time, 21st of February 2017. Ending time, the end of the last performer.